Hey there, McAllister here with Toasty DIY, and today I'm doing a quick review over the Victrix Pro FS stick for the PS5. This is my first fight stick I've ever owned, and I'm a relatively new fighting gamer. I have just started with Street Fighter 6 and I'm having a good time. It is very expensive to try to get any sort of stick that will work for the PS5. Most all of them are either way too expensive, or you have to get the new Brook board with $120 for that board just to start building your own, and if you're new like me, that's a daunting task. So when I mathed it all out, it was about $130 for the Brook board, about, call it 50 buttons for all the buttons I'd need, and I wasn't really market shopping for the cheapest buttons. I was trying to get, fancier ones since I was buying it and building it myself, and all it came down to is about $300 before I had even built it, and I didn't trust myself to not fail and need to order new parts, and that's when I saw the Victrix Pro FS was on sale for $389. I went ahead and just went for that, deciding that was going to be an easier time all around. So the question really is, how does it compare for something that almost costs as much as my PS5 for just a controller? So this is a pretty rough look over of the Victrix Pro and just my personal opinions moreover than anything. As someone who's new to fighting games, I've really enjoyed it. It's a very intentional decision to jump. I went for the Leverless design because I jump on accident a lot and seem to get punished very hard when I'm on pad. So I've enjoyed using this. As far as inputting things like Fireball or whatnot, it's really nice. The new rules for SOCD cleaning for Street Fighter 6 I believe are all fine. Up and down does nothing, and left and right still does nothing. The cleaner is already in there, at least in the one I bought. Still works as the tournament rules intend. As for the feel of the Victrix, it feels very premium. It feels a lot like holding a PS5. It's got this solid aluminum casing that just feels really sturdy. It looks super sleek, and I mean, if I set it on a shelf, I'm pretty sure someone would think it's a console before they think it's a controller. As far as the Sanwa buttons, I have looked up and looked at reviews of different buttons, and Sanwa seems to come heavily recommended. In my experience, the Sanwa buttons are great. They look phenomenal, they're very sleek with the board, and they press and click and clack just the way you'd hope they would. They're not too loud unless you're really just mashing to get out of a combo, but they do look good and feel nice. As far as customization, you can go through and replace any of these buttons. As you see here, the back panel opens up very easily, allowing you to get inside and rewire if you wish to install your own buttons. If you're not a big fan of Sanwa, or you want to go ahead and get some Sanwa buttons with maybe some cushions or pads in there to minimize clickety-clackety, so you can go in there and do that. It also has compatibility via the little switch here with PC and PS4 and PS5. PS5 being the biggest one here, as it's very difficult to get a board that does function with it. So one thing to note from somebody who wanted to get a fight stick is, I did not get better. In fact, I got worse. I went from being a modern Cami player who was getting a gold and having a pretty good time, which is nothing much to say for somebody who's been playing for maybe a cumulative 50 hours versus people who've been playing for years and years. I was having a good time and winning a good amount of matches, getting like 4 or 5 win streaks before, losing to some jury player who's just way better than me. And as soon as I plugged in the Victrix Pro, I was really excited to get in there, get in training lab for a little bit. I stuck in there for a couple hours, got the hang of this jump, and thought, I'll just jump into some ranked matches. And I decided I'll start with Ken. And I think my placement matches for Ken led me in Bronze 3, having successfully lost 9 out of 10 matches with him, and barely scraping through the one I did win. It is very easy to input some commands, and it makes it very nice, but I don't have that muscle memory nor the natural talent at this game to just make myself better by buying this controller. Like Mena RD just went second in Evo using pad. People get good at it. You can get good. Don't gear gate yourself for the behalf of a $400 controller. But if you're like me and you're on PS5 and you're struggling to find a controller that will work that's not like a custom one, the only real options for getting it on Prime and quickly are things like the Victrix Pro, the Wingman FGC, I believe it is, that allows you to plug in any board, which would be really nice. But if you check any website, as of right now, August 15th, they're pretty much sold out everywhere. You can buy one secondhand on eBay for about $120, but that's about the same cost as the Universal Fight board from Brook. So you can weigh your options there, but it might be cheaper to buy the inflated cost of the Wingman FGC and then go buy any board that you want to use. So for the cost, I don't know that I'd recommend this directly to anyone, as you need to go out and buy this right now. But if you want the arcade leverless experience, it is a great one. This thing sits very nicely on the lap. The hand feel is great. The buttons click and clack just the way you'd hope they would. It feels super satisfying when you pull off a combo with this. Hitting your drive impact with that 6th button, super easy. Hitting your drive impact with that extra button, really easy, really nice, really slick, and it just feels good. It feels like you're in an arcade, but you have more control. And as somebody who grew up playing keyboard, WASD with spacebar as your thumb, it's felt more natural to me than I think it would to most people. So I'm going to leave you with some gameplay of me just playing. I believe I played Tekken 7. I played Skullgirls, Street Fighter, the demo on the computer since I own it on the PS5. And then I did play Brawlhalla, but I'm not including that footage here because it was not great for it. However, if you are curious, if you're for some reason watching this video and you're a big Brawlhalla player, it does work on that, except the buttons will need to be remapped, I'm pretty sure. And then I'm going to go ahead and follow up all that with the very end. You can click there directly for a sound test. And then I'll come back at the end to wish you all goodbye. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the video and watched it through as much as you were interested. And if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below and I'll try to get to it. If I was to say, should you buy a Victrix Pro FS, I would say maybe hold on to the Razer one comes out, the Kitsune, and see how those two compare against each other. There's other options, but it'd be really nice if the Wingman FGC came out for a cheaper price here in the near future. Like, comment, subscribe, and I appreciate you all for watching. Peace. Oh, also, if you're into Street Fighter 6 and better than me, like, I would love some help. I'm on the struggle bus.